everybody, it's JimJ 1911. A long time ago, when I first started the JimJ channel, I did a cost comparison video about factory loads versus cost of self reloads. And it got a lot of traffic and a lot of people were asking questions and really interested in the subject. So I decided to do an entire series on cost comparisons, the cost of reloading, everything that goes into it. So tonight we are going to be covering the cost of reloading 45 ACP versus buying 45 ACP factory ammo. Now, I will tell you that in this video, I'm only going to be talking about the cost of components versus the cost of store-bought ammo. In a future video, I will be addressing the concern of startup costs and how they factor into reloading, and your component prices, factored into the whole startup with the press and all of the supplies that you need to actually reload. I did do a video about the startup costs earlier, so if you want to check that one out, you can, but just know there will be another video in this series, the next one, where we will actually talk about the startup costs in conjunction with everything else that goes into it. Also, we will be doing some other videos on other calibers. Not only will we be doing 357, 44 mag, and 45 Colt, we're also going to do some rifle calibers. So make sure you're looking out for those videos too. Now, let's get down to business. So, as I said before, we're going to be talking about 45 ACP costs tonight. If you go to the store, say Cabela's or Bass Pro or your favorite gun shop that happens to sell your ammo, you want to buy a box of 50 rounds from Winchester. You want to get some Winchester full metal jackets in 230 grain. That 50 count box is going to cost you about $34.99. Okay, for the ease of all of these numbers, we're just going to round that up to $35. So that comes out to, for $35, 50 rounds. Each one of those rounds will cost 70 cents. Okay, so keep that in mind, 70 cents per round. Now, let's talk about our reloaded ammo. So you're a reloader or you want to get into reloading, here's what you're going to be looking at for your costs. First of all, the first thing that you need to have is your case, okay? Your brass. Some people use range brass that they get for free at the range. We're fortunate enough that we shoot at a couple of different ranges where they tell us that we can pick up whatever brass we want, or sometimes they save a bag or two back for us and they just hand it to us. They tell us, take it home, sort it out, bring back what you don't want. And of course, then when we do that, we inspect every case just to make sure that it's in good condition and that we want to continue reloading it. So you can either get those for free, and then once you have them, you can use them over and over again until you notice any flaws in them and they're no good anymore. Or if you want, you can go out and you can buy some once fired range brass. It's going to cost you about $60 for 1,000 of them. That comes out to 6 cents per case. Okay, so one piece of brass will cost you about 6 cents. Also, your second component that you're going to need is your primer. Okay. For the 45 ACP, of course, you know you can load either small pistol primer or large pistol primer. I chose large pistol primers for this example just because, but really small or large, it's going to be pretty comparable or equal in price. So For example, we're using Federal primers. We can get a brick of Federal primers right now for $75. That works out to, and just so you know, there are 1,000 in a brick, that works out to 7.5 cents per primer. Again, for the ease of our numbers, we're going to round that up to 8 cents. So we're going to pay 8 cents per primer. So one primer is going to be 8 cents. Next off, we have our powder. So if we use tight group, which we use all different kinds of powder when we reload, but for this example, I'm going to use our tight group. If you use tight group, we're going to put 4.4 grains per case, okay? Now, in one pound bottle, you can get 1,590 loads out of that. Each 1 pound bottle has about 7,000 grains, okay? And that one pound bottle will cost you $28. So knowing that, for that bottle, you're going to be paying 0.017 cents per round of powder. We're going to round that up again for the ease of our numbers' sake. We're going to round that up to 2 cents per round. So you're going to pay 2 cents per round in powder. And last but not least, we need our bullets. So for this example, I picked Barry's bullets. Now I am going to use 230 grain round nose plated bullets. I'm going to be able to pay $75 for a box of 500. That comes out to 15 cents per bullet. Okay, so knowing all of that, if we go back through and we say, okay, we have our 8 cents for our primer, we have our 2 cents for our powder, we have our 15 cents for our bullet, and if you want to use cases, or if you already have cases, it's either going to be 6 cents for cases or no cents for cases. All right, so you add all of those things together. If you are paying for your cases, it's going to come out to 31 cents per round, or you're going to save even more if you have free range brass or you're reusing your brass. It's going to come out to 25 cents per round. Now, how does that look with if you were to create a box of 50 target reloads? And I should say, these are just target reloads. If you have a different purpose for shooting other than just target practice or fun, that's a whole different situation, but we're just talking about target loads. So if you have a box of 50 that you want to create yourself, if you're paying for the cases, a box of 50 will cost you $15.50. If you already have range brass that you're not paying for, a box of 50 that you've created will cost you a mere $12.50. That's even better. So $15.50 if you're paying for your cases, $12.50 if you're using your own range brass or reused range brass. All right, so let's go back to that Winchester white box that we just picked up at the store. Okay, we decided that we were going to pay $35 for that white box. Remember, we also reloaded 50 at home, and we only paid $15.50, and that was by using brass that we had to pay for. So if we take our $35 that we paid at Cabela's, and we take our $15.50 away from that, we come up with $19.50 worth of savings if we have paid for our brass. If we don't pay for our brass, we can say, okay, $35 minus the $12.50 that we paid to reload our reloads that we already had the brass for. 35 minus that $12.50 comes out to $22.50 worth of savings. I think that's pretty good. So, one more thing, because this was a really, really hot topic when I did my very first video, and that is time. Okay, for me, I don't factor in my time for reloading because it's fun. It's relaxing. It's something that I do with my family. My husband and I reload together after a day of work, and it's just a nice time to hang out. I don't factor in my time, just like a golfer doesn't factor in his time when he goes and plays around a golf for 4 hours. Okay, he's not going to pay himself to play golf. I'm not going to pay myself to reload. I'm enjoying my time. But for those of you who are concerned about your time, let's just say that you're going to pay yourself $20 an hour. Okay, if you pay yourself $20 an hour, just like you're working at a factory where you may make ammo, okay? If you know that you can load 350 rounds in an hour, you are paying yourself $20 to load 350 rounds, okay? So how many of those boxes, those 50 count boxes, are we reloading in an hour? We are reloading 7 of those boxes, okay? So if you reload 7 boxes, if you take into consideration that you are paying $15.50 with that brass that you paid for, times 7, that's going to come out to $108.50. That's what you're spending in 1 hour to reload, okay? You are spending $87.50 if you're going with that brass that you already had that you didn't have to pay for. So you've got $12.50 times 7. That comes out to $87.50. Plus, you're going to pay yourselves that $20. So that comes out to either $128.50 for the rounds that you paid for the brass, or a low price of $107.50 for your rounds that you already had the brass for, okay? Or if you want to go to the store and buy 5 boxes of ammo, you're going to pay $175. So let's think about this. If we pay $175 from the store, or we pay ourselves $107.50 for that ammo that we reloaded at home, or even $128.50. What do you think is the better deal? Also, don't forget, if you're driving to the store, you're going to pay for your gas. You should probably factor in your time to drive to the store. Or if you decide to be smart about it so you don't have to pay for your gas or your time and you order it online, guess what? You're going to pay a hazmat fee. So it's up to you if you want to reload or not. For me, it makes the best sense because not only do I get to control my loads, not only am I in complete knowledge of how much I have saved up while no one else is, not only am I spending time with my husband and relaxing and enjoying the reloading process, I get the satisfaction of knowing that when I go out to the range, I am using something that I created myself. I have become completely self-sufficient and I'm able to shoot the rounds that I made all by myself. So there it is. Like I said, maybe reloading isn't something you want to do, but I do think that for every person who is a gun enthusiast or who likes to spend time at the range, it does make sense to do it. Keep in mind that, of course, if you shop around, you're going to be able to find things for a little bit different prices. Not only are you going to find factory ammo for a little bit different price, you're going to find all those components that we talked about earlier for different prices too. So that's always something to take into consideration. You may find a deal, you may not find a deal, but if you put in the time and the effort into what's important for you, it's going to come out the way you want it to come out. So for me, that is why I reload. I love doing it. I love talking about it. I love helping people with it. And so make sure that even if you are thinking about reloading, a perfect opportunity for you to get into reloading is I am having a 5,000 subscriber giveaway on my YouTube channel. That means my first 5,000 subscribers will automatically be entered for free into a drawing. One of those subscribers' names will be drawn for one free Dylan RL550C reloading press. And that is just because I love you guys and I love the fact that we get to talk about reloading together. And I want to help you get into reloading or become an even better reloader. So make sure you pass that information on to your friends and family, have them sign up. There is no purchase necessary. YouTube is not affiliated with that contest. They are, completely unaffiliated with it, but that is sponsored by JimJ 1911, as well as our friends at Full Circle Reloading in St. Charles, Missouri. So please feel free to drop some comments in that comment box. And, if you have questions or anything like that, let me know. You can always reach out to me by email too. My email is jennyj1911@usa.com. Pretty easy to remember. And I look forward to talking to you all again soon.